All right, let's tackle a big one. Does cracking your knuckles actually cause arthritis? I mean, it's a question that's probably started a few arguments at the dinner table or gotten you some dirty looks at the office, right?
You know the line, "Stop cracking your knuckles, you'll get arthritis." It's practically a universal warning passed down from parents to kids for generations. You make that pop sound, and boom, there's the scolding.
But is there any truth to it at all? Or is it just one of the most successful old wives' tales of all time? Well, today we're going to crack this myth wide open and see what the science really has to say.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can even talk about whether it's harmful, we have to figure out what is making that popping sound. And here's a little spoiler for you. It's not what you think. It has absolutely nothing to do with your bones grinding together.
See, inside your joints, you've got this incredible stuff called synovial fluid. The best way to think about it, it's like nature's own WD-40. It's this thick, slippery liquid that keeps everything lubricated and moving smoothly. It's totally crucial for keeping your joints healthy.
So here's what happens when you get that pop. When you stretch your finger, you're basically widening the space in that joint. This makes the pressure inside suddenly drop. And when that pressure drops, gases that are dissolved in that synovial fluid, we're talking stuff like nitrogen, they quickly form a little bubble. That pop sound, that's the sound of the bubble collapsing almost as fast as it formed.
So get this, the sound isn't your bones grinding or cartilage tearing. Nope, it's literally just a gas bubble forming and collapsing. It's a tiny, harmless event based on pure physics, happening right inside your finger.
Okay, I hear you. It's a bubble. But couldn't that popping bubble still cause some kind of damage over and over again for years? That's the real question, isn't it? So let's look at the actual evidence. Let's see what modern science has found.
You know, scientists have thrown the whole kitchen sink at this question. We're talking X-rays, super detailed MRI scans, and even real-time ultrasounds, where they can literally watch the joint as it pops. They've looked at this from every angle you can imagine. And what did they find? The verdict is totally unanimous. Across every single study, using all this fancy technology, the conclusion is exactly the same. Knuckle cracking causes absolutely zero structural damage.
And when we get specific, it gets even clearer. That really important cartilage that cushions your joints? Perfectly fine. The surfaces of the bones? They stay totally smooth. The little capsule holding the joint together? Unaffected. It really is just a harmless pop.
Now, if all that high-tech imaging isn't enough to convince you, get ready for this. There's an incredible story of one man who basically turned himself into the ultimate human experiment on this very question. It's kind of legendary.
His name was Dr. Donald Unger, and for 60 years, he ran an experiment on himself. Why? All because of those same warnings he heard from his family when he was a kid.
And his experiment was just beautiful in its simplicity. For 60 years, every single day, he would crack the knuckles on his left hand, multiple times a day. And his right hand, he made a point to never crack them, not once. The right hand was his control group.
So, after 6 decades of this, what was the result? You guessed it, absolutely no arthritis in either hand. There was zero difference between the hand he cracked relentlessly and the one he left alone. This was such a brilliant, dedicated, and kind of funny experiment that he actually won an Ig Nobel Prize for it. That's the award for science that makes you laugh and then makes you think.
Okay, so if knuckle cracking isn't the villain here, then what does cause arthritis? This is super important because to really bust this myth, we need to understand what the real culprits are.
Well, science points to a few major risk factors. Things like age, our cartilage just naturally wears down over time. Genetics plays a big part, so if it runs in your family, you might be more susceptible. Big-time joint injuries from the past can also lead to it. And so can chronic inflammation or doing jobs in sports that put a ton of repetitive, heavy stress on your joints.
So you hear that list, right? Age, genes, major injuries, what's missing? Yep, habitual knuckle cracking. It is nowhere on that list. In fact, joint specialists don't even consider it a minor factor. It's just not a factor at all.
And that makes perfect sense because arthritis is a disease. It's a slow biological breakdown of your cartilage tissue. It's a complex medical condition. It's not a sound effect from a tiny gas bubble. It never was.
All right, so we've settled it. No arthritis. But does that mean it's completely 100% harmless? Are there any downsides at all?
let's get to the final verdict on this noisy little habit.
Okay, to be totally thorough, a few studies have pointed to some really minor things. We're talking about possible mild, temporary swelling, or maybe a tiny bit less grip strength in people who do it all the time. But, and this is the key part, none of this is arthritis, and none of it leads to arthritis.
So let's bring it all together. Can we finally answer that age-old question? Yes. Absolutely yes. Cracking your knuckles does not cause arthritis. The scientific evidence on this is just overwhelming.
Look, it might still annoy everyone around you. It could drive your family and your coworkers completely up the wall. But hey, now you can tell them with full scientific confidence that while you might be annoying them, your joints are perfectly safe.
And maybe that's the best part of all this. You know, in a world where we have so many things to worry about when it comes to our health, it's kind of nice to know that sometimes a satisfying pop is just a pop.